to Indie Film Cafe. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and I'm going to do a collections video talking about each, I guess it's going to be each Tuesday. I'm going to try to do another collection kind of video where I show different movies that I've collected in the past and different types of films I like that are indie films and things like that. And so, first of all, before I get into it, I kind of want to talk about how I got into indie film, indie filmmaking, collecting, and stuff like that. And one of the things I think I kind of talked on before in our first video that we did was that Troma kind of got me into it. So this is a Troma and Tempe video, and Troma especially was one of the things that got me into filmmaking, because Lloyd Kaufman made a book called Make Your Own Damn Movie. I have that book. I've had like a bunch of books by Lloyd Kaufman. Great things. So I guess since we got a lot of movies to kind of go through, I'm just gonna go right into it. But Troma was the thing I got into, and then I got into like Chris Seaver. So you'll see some of his, because some of them are Tempe stuff. I will probably do my whole Chris Seaver collection in another video, in its own like little video, and I'll talk about that more because he's got a lot more stuff, and I'll do like an SRS / Chris Seaver video at some point. But before we get into that, I'm going to talk about it. Now, this is in no particular order, and so the first movie is Terror Firmer. I don't know, literally I don't know which ones I got before the other ones, so I won't even remember the first Troma movie I actually bought. It was probably Toxic Avenger, most likely, but I've got a ton of them, so. And these are kind of out of order. Some are Lloyd Kaufman's movies from Troma, and some are from other movies that were Troma distributed. One I'm missing is Cannibal the Musical, so that one's missing. Don't know where it is right now. Probably gonna need to buy the Blu-ray at some point anyway. Next is Redneck Zombies. I interviewed the director Pericles Lunes a long time ago, and I absolutely love this movie. I think it's so goofy and over the top and fun. I don't usually like rednecks too, so for me to actually like this movie is pretty good. Like, if I just think rednecks is just they're too cliche, and I just don't like them. But that was back in the 80s, and I think they did that very well. Next is Direct Your Own Damn Movie box set by Lloyd Kaufman. It's got 4 discs in it. I also had the Make Your Own Damn Movie one. I've got all the discs, but I can't find the case for it for some reason. Class of Nuke 'Em High 1 through 3. I still need to get Return to Nuke 'Em High, but I didn't want to get Return to Nuke 'Em High until I could get to Return to Nuke 'Em High, which is the second volume. I want to get them both. I'm not sure if they're going to release them both together or if I have to get them both separate. Whatever. But that was, yeah. Class of Nuke 'Em High 1 through 3. Love these films. They're so good and so over the top. I need to rewatch them soon. Bloodsucking Freaks. This movie is fucked up. If you have not seen this movie and you don't mind watching really fucked up shit, watch it. It's really good. Poultrygeist. This movie is, some people really like it. I think it's okay. I think it's, I don't know. It's just, it's okay to me. It has some funny bits. I know a lot of people who worked on it, and it's decent, I guess. It's not the greatest of Lloyd Kaufman's movies, but it's not the worst. I don't know. It might be the worst, but in the worst of Lloyd Kaufman's movies, that's not bad, because really they're not that, they're not. None of his movies are bad. I mean, they are, but in a fun way. Tromeo and Juliet, written by James Gunn, who went on to do Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's awesome. Toxic Avenger, which, actually, to think of this, probably wasn't my first Troma movie. I think Tromeo and Juliet may have been. But this one is pretty decent. It's the 21st anniversary edition. I don't know if they've released any other editions. It has a pretty decent commentary. That's the one thing I'll give Troma credit for, is they do bonus features pretty well. I always like their bonus features. Citizen Toxie. Now, this is the messed up version because I believe this is the rated R version. If you look at it, it says rated R on it. And the problem with that is that there was an unrated and there's a rated R version. And when I ordered it on Amazon, I didn't realize which one I was getting. So I got the rated R version. If I were you and you're going to go buy Citizen Toxie, buy the unrated version. Because there's a commentary track on there. I think there's different stuff in the unrated version that's much, much better. But Squeeze Play, which is one of Lloyd Kaufman's movies, I absolutely adore this movie. It's like about a girls' softball team, and it's kind of Troma's version of like, Women's Lib, and it's really funny. Really funny stuff. Zombies versus Satan. It's Wise Guys versus Zombies and Meat for Satan's Icebox. These are pretty bad movies. Meat for Satan's Icebox is worse. Wise Guys versus Zombies has some good moments to it, but all in all, it's kind of a boring movie. I know the guys who made it, and as in I met one of them, and I've had the other guy on my show, and I've told, they know this movie isn't the greatest. They don't go around like promoting it all the time. I mean, so it's okay. It has its moments. I would say if you're a big Troma collector, buy it, but if you're not, just watch something else. So Zombiegeddon. I absolutely adore this movie. It's got the biggest cast list you'll ever see. Brink Stevens, Tom Savini, Robert Zadar, William Smith, Felissa Rose, Joe Estevez, Conrad Brooks, Edwin Neal, Ron Jeremy. I don't know who Technique is, but I guess he was a rapper or something. Jeff Dylan Graham, J.R. Bookwalter, Linnea Quigley, Lila Stabbs, Julie Strain, and Lloyd Kaufman. There was more. I mean, like, that was just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, it was just a who's who of, like, B-movie people and stuff. It's just really cool. I remember buying this movie, and the best thing about this movie is, like, the commentary and the behind the scenes, because they really go into, like, in depth what it took to make this movie. And trust me, it was not an easy feat for what they've talked about. So it's really good. You should check it out. Definitely. It's one of my favorites from movies that Troma distributed. Lolly Love. Directed by, Jenna Fisher and James Gunn did it. I don't know if they both... it's directed by Jenna. But, let's see, James Gunn produced it and, helped her out with it and everything because they used to be married. And they made this movie. It was just a kind of a silly, like, Waiting for Guffman style comedy. I sort of enjoyed it. I don't know. It's short. It's like 60 minutes long or something, like a 60-minute thing. It's got a bunch of commentary and different stuff. But honestly, it was okay. I didn't really find it that funny. Everything that was funny was in the trailer. So if you want to just watch the trailer, you can pretty much see everything that's pretty much funny. And other than that, I didn't really laugh much. It wasn't my cup of tea. But maybe other people dig it. I don't know. So, give it a shot if you think so. If you look at the trailer and think it's funny, give it a shot. I'm not here to tell you not to watch a movie. Alright, so that's all my Troma movies, which doesn't seem like that much, to be honest. I need more. So, once again, I'm going to go into these, but there's not in any particular order. Very out of order, so just bear with me. The first one's Demon Summer. Now, the guys who made this, Speed Freak Productions, they did Midnight Skater as well, which I'll show. But Midnight Skater was... Hold on a second, my throat's getting dry. Okay. Midnight Skater was okay. And, Midnight Skater was really good. This movie was okay. Like, this wasn't nearly as good as Midnight Skater. Midnight Skater was a lot better. But this is like their second film. They had the kind of same style. And then they did another movie that, called Red Skulls, that was kind of in the same similar style thing, and I need to get that. So, very cool. Love this. Next is The Feral Man, Brett Kelly's first film. Great commentary track on this, and there's a great commentary track on Demon Summer as well, but Feral Man has a great commentary track. It's just pretty much Brett Kelly talking about the making of it. And actually, Brett was the first guest I had on my radio show when I first started. So I'll forever be grateful of him as a filmmaker and as a person. I just dig in it and dig his stuff. So, The Feral Man, definitely a really good Tempe movie. Ghoul School is like a 4-pack that has like Ghoul School, which I haven't seen yet. I kind of want to because it's got, it just sounds interesting. I don't know, there's some, it's made in 1990 or whatever, but it's got, Filthy McNasty and Mulva Zombie Ass Kicker, which I have them both anyway, but, kind of cool to still get that. And Shock Cinema 1 and 2, which is really neat. Those are good documentaries. If anything, this is worth whatever it is because of the Shock Cinema. Those are really cool documentaries. They go in depth into what goes on to making a independent film. This is another 4-pack, Dead and Rotting. It's got Dead and Rotting, which is a great Tempe movie. I think it might be also part Full Moon. It's also got The Bone Setter, which we're actually about to go into. It's got Ozone and Bloodletting. So I've got The Bone Setter and Bloodletting. I pretty much got this for Dead and Rotting and Ozone, but I'm eventually gonna get those on its own separate DVDs anyway. So I'm, just eventually. But now I just wanted to get these, so that's pretty cool. Next is Bone Setter, which I wanted this because Brett Kelly, once again, it's a second film. I need to get more Brett Kelly films. That's what I'm going to end up doing pretty soon, is I'm going to go into a lot of the Tempe films that I haven't got yet and buy those. And so hopefully I will be able to do that soon. Next is Bloodletting. I actually really, really like this movie. It was written by Matthew Jason Walsh, and directed by him. I believe it's like his second movie that he ever directed, but it might be his first feature film that he ever directed, and only. He's never directed any like other feature films, but he's a writer. He wrote for David Dakota a lot. He still does. Really, really well done movie. If you have not seen Bloodletting yet, see it. James L. Edwards and Ariana Albright are just amazing in this movie. Tina Krause has this amazing cameo. Speaking of which, I did forget to grab one movie. It's over here, yes. That's the Tempe movie. I'll get to that later. So, Bloodletting, if you haven't had a chance to see this movie yet, definitely watch it. You'll get a kick out of it. It's really good. Next is, alright, let's do this one first. So Mulva, and Zombie Ass Kicker, and Filthy McNasty, which were on that Ghoul School thing. And, dear Lord, it's not here. Then, there's commentary on this, and some other great stuff. If I were you, I would definitely buy this movie if you like kind of raunchy, stuff. One thing I never really liked it was Missy Donato's character of Mulva. I thought she was way too over the top and weird and gross to me, and that was the character. So it's nothing like, I'm not faulting Chris Seaver for that, but I didn't dig that. I loved Deborah Shawn in the first Filthy McNasty. I think she did really great in that movie. And she was also a cameo in Mulva Zombie Ass Kicker, which is kind of really funny because she was Mulva and Mulva 2, Kill Teen Ape. So Deborah Shawn takes over for the character. I believe Chris Seaver and Missy weren't able to get back together for it or whatever, so they ended up getting Deborah Shawn to come out and play Mulva, and you know, they explain why she's different or whatever. She was like in a coma for sugar coma or something. All right, these are all Chris Seaver stuff. Let me try to do all the other ones before I go into all Chris Seaver stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna do all Chris Seaver stuff last because he's got a lot of movies in there. So next is Stink of Flesh. That is a great movie. If you have not seen this film, watch it. Watch it. Directed by Scott Phillips, who wrote Drive, the movie with Mark Dacascos. It is a fun zombie movie. Really good, really well done. Lots of great cast in there, including Billy Garbarina and Curly, and I'm not going to say his last name. I'm friends with him on Facebook, but I still can't pronounce his Talapawa. If I'm pronouncing your name badly, don't. I'm sorry. There's not much I can do about that. Okay, so I have Witch House 3. Now, Witch House 1 and 2 I need eventually, but Witch House 3 is my favorite. A friend of mine and I always kind of talk about the Witch House movies, and I've seen all three. They're all on Full Moon Streaming. So if you go to Full Moon Streaming, even though this is a Tempe film, well, yeah, it's Tempe and Full Moon together. I consider this a Tempe movie because it just feels like one. It's got some amazing commentary, like with like Deborah Shawn and Jared Bookwalter, and then Brink Stevens, and I mean it's got an amazing cast like Deborah Shawn, Tanya Dempsey, Tina Kraus, Brink Stevens. I have the biggest crush on Tina Kraus. She knows this. I've interviewed her and I've chatted with her. She knows it. I love her to death. I think she's a sweetheart. And she's a great actress. Deborah Shawn, I love her to death too. She's you see her at a convention, she's one of the sweetest people you'll ever just run into at a convention. She's, I remember I even ran into her like late at night. And she was so very sweet, but she was tired and you could just tell she was just ready to go. And I love her. She's so sweet. And this movie is good. The reason I like this better than the other ones is the other ones feel like, your typical haunted house movies or whatever. And this one does something different, it feels like. I enjoy this one. I'm eventually going to review this again, like rewatch and review. I may even do like a section called that at some point. Rewatch and review, where I rewatch movies that I enjoyed and I'm going to review them. So just get ready for that, because this will definitely be on the list. I'm making a list as I kind of go through all my, movies that I've seen and everything, and I want to rewatch and review. So, another one that I love to death, Polymorph. I had to get this. I got this sort of recently. I've seen it back in the day. Netflix used to have a lot of the Tempe movies on streaming. I guess in the beginning of the streaming thing, before they became like so big that they got rid of a lot of their lower budgeted stuff. Polymorph was up there. I remember watching it going, this was actually a really decent movie. Like, it wasn't, you could tell they had a low budget, but it was well done. And so it's just a really good movie. There's commentary on it, behind the scenes. I mean, just a bunch of different stuff. It's pretty neat. This is the movie I was telling you guys about, Midnight Skater. Oh my goodness, it is funny. Corey Maidens in the movie is the best character in the whole thing. He's like the lead, and when I first saw this thing, it says skater die, and it's got a, I was like, oh, okay, so it's about a skater going around slicing people and stuff. I was like, that sounds like a cool idea. No. The skater is actually a good guy. The movie revolves around a serial killer and zombies. It's two different horror subgenres mixed into one, and it's set in like this time period, like the 2000s, and they all act like they're in their in the 1950s and stuff. Like, they're all dressed like it's the 1950s, and some of them act like it's the 1950s, but they are, and they really do that in Demon Summer even more. But they do that a lot in this. This is another movie I do want to rewatch and review. I think we not actually we are doing it. We are doing it for the podcast. Never mind. I believe we have Midnight Skater up on the list on the podcast. So get ready for that. That'll be down the line, later this year. But get ready for it because this is a movie that I want more people to watch. So if you get a chance to go online and get it for like $5 or something, get it. It's definitely worth it. All right, so here comes all the Chris Seaver movies that are from Tempe, other than we had Mulva 1 and 2 and the Filthy movies. Oh, wait, don't. Where's all the Filthy movies? Okay. All right. So here we go. This is the one. This is like one of them. This is actually the first movie I ever saw of Chris Seaver's, and I'll talk about that probably later in the Chris Seaver thing. But it's got Tina Kraus, and she, I don't know if she was having a good time or not, but she was pretty funny in the movie. I really enjoyed her. And look how adorable she looks as a elf, you know. So I enjoy her, and I joined the other elf, played by Jen Stone, and I had a huge crush on Jen Stone when I watched this movie. I like fell in love with her. Unfortunately, she doesn't work with Chris anymore, but she was great in it. So if Jen, you're watching this or something, or somebody tells you to go watch it, this video, you know, call me. All right, next, Film Crew and Wet Heat. Film Crew is it's not a great movie. It's okay. It's got some points where I laughed. It was a comedy more so, and I think at the end it gets a little weird and becomes, I don't know, horror-like, but really it's a comedy movie that they tried to do, and I just didn't really find it that funny, and I think maybe it did have a little slasher, but I just don't remember it being that good. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't remember liking it. Then, let's see, there's Wet Heat is great. So if you're gonna get this double pack, get it for Wet Heat, because Wet Heat is so much better. It's like Teen-Ape Snake Plissken thing. You know, he's going there, trying to take down like the president of something or another or whatever, and it is so the president of show business, and it is so off the wall goofy. I think you guys would get a kick out of it. Destruction Kings, which, all in all, decent movie, And a lot of people don't like this movie. I think it's because it was built up so big, like, they kept announcing it. Oh, Destruction Kings is gonna come out. Destruction Kings, teaser, this, that, and then, it came out and it got, like, lackluster reviews, and I think they did kind of phone it in, but honestly, I had a good time. I liked Brad Austin, who played Dracula. Travis Indivina and Jason McCall are good as like the the werewolf and Funkenstein. Which the only thing I was mad about with the werewolf is there was not any hair. Like, he had long hair. That was it. There was no like beard or anything. Like, I just felt like could have been a lot more to show that he was the freaking Wolfman other than him howling. But it's got Teen-Ape and Bone Jack. A lot of people hate Bone Jack. Not a real big fan of Bone Jack. I think it's a one joke that should have been just left in one movie or something. But, it was a character a lot of people did like, and Chris Seaver enjoyed playing for a little bit. Then he was like, I'm retiring the character. So he stopped it, and he kept going with Teen-Ape, even though he kind of had bits and parts where he was gonna get rid of Teen-Ape, then he brought Teen-Ape back. All these different things, but he did end up doing this. So there you go. Speaking of Teen-Ape, Teen-Ape Goes to Camp. I don't like this movie that much, honestly. I think it's way too over the top, even for Chris Seaver. So it's okay. Carnage for the Destroyer, pretty funny movie. Has some good moments to it. I like the setting. Is in a like they're doing like a haunted house thing, like a haunted maze and stuff, and you know, it was fun. They call this, like, this guy the Destroyer comes to Bojack Heights, where they do all their movie stuff. So it's okay. It's got some good moments to it. There was a girl in it that I never saw again. I forgot what her name was, but she was really good in it. I think they had some weird name for her. Jen Stone was in it. This may have been one of the last movies that Jen Stone was involved in. And then we got Filthy Nasty 2 and 3. 2 is great. I love 2. And 3 is okay. I don't know why I didn't like 3 as much. I really don't, because there the other 3s that they had, like Heather and Puckley 3 and a couple other ones I liked a lot more, but 3 was okay. But 2 was a lot better, because like it went from 1 to 2, and then Filthy McNastier, Maximum Douche, is the second one. And then there's Filthy McNastiest, Apocalypse Fuck, I want to say is the full tagline. It was okay. It's just, you know, if you like that kind of stuff, you like it. You know, that's it. But all in all, I think this was kind of a fun, kind of little video showing all my movies that I've got. I know I have a ton more. I mean, if you look at up there, I mean, all the way up there, I've got like a whole bunch more independent films. So there's going to be a lot we're going to go through. I've been collecting independent films since like 2003 or 4, something like that, maybe 5, but I think it's 4. I started to get that kind of stuff. So I really got into these films, and I love them to death. And so if you want to see more of these kind of things, let me know. Let me know what kind of movies do you think I should talk about in my collection. I think next Tuesday we're gonna definitely do Full Moon and Empire, which are 2 sections, like 2 companies. They're kind of together. Empire, Full Moon used to be Empire and stuff, so we're gonna be talking about that. At one point, I'm gonna be doing James Balsamo's movies. I'll probably do them with another group of people or something. I want to, like, these are a pretty good group. I could have done just them solo, but I want to do one video where I just had a bunch of them lined out and stuff, so that's pretty cool. I don't have any of these movies. I've got Evil Night, which is a Chris Seaver movie, but it's not Tempe, or Troma on Blu-ray, so I don't really have I don't have any Blu-rays for these 2, and I'm eventually going to get some from Troma. They're way too expensive right now. They're like $20. And I hate to say, I love Troma to death, but I'm not going to spend $20 on a Blu-ray when I'm pretty sure, as much as I love Lloyd and that company, I'm pretty sure they don't do anything extra to it. Like, they don't even clean it up. So I'm not really that interested in that. Anyway, thank you guys. If you guys enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. And let us know how you guys feel. And definitely check out all our stuff, like Patreon, our Indie Film Cafe at like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We have a Facebook group where independent filmmakers can come and they can, share what they're doing and videos and different things that they're doing. We're open to that as long as it's promoting yourself and getting your stuff out there. We're for it. So join the Indie Film Cafe group and we'll accept you. So just let us know what you guys think, because we want to get the indie film world out there. We want you guys to feel comfortable to come out and hang out with us and do this stuff and interact with us and let us know. And send us your movie. I love collecting independent films. And if you have a movie out there, whether it's on DVD or whether it's on streaming, let us know about it. We'll definitely check it out. I've got a movie that I'm going to be reviewing next week that the people contacted me and said, my movie's on Prime, would you check it out and review it? Like, sure, why not? So definitely try, get us out there. Let us know what you guys think, and we will definitely hit you guys up and promote your work, because that's really what the Indie Film Cafe is about. It's not about reviewing and saying we're not there to crush your spirit. We're there to try to uplift you guys and let you guys know that we're all in this together. We're all filmmakers, independent filmmakers. A lot of us want to just get out there and make movies and do this stuff. And sure, we love to do the podcast where we talk about movies and review them and everything. That's great, but that's just all other stuff that we do. We also want you guys to just feel comfortable to hang out and let us know how you guys feel. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up. Let us know how you guys think. So see ya. Bye.